Hey, this is Steve here with RV to Cycle. If you saw my September the 20th video, 2025, you heard me say, I think Mobile Suites by DRV is dead. If any of that interests you, stay tuned. I'm going to talk some more about it and where I think it is now.
Recently released paperwork indicates that 570 RV industry workers will be laid off in late June.
Yeah, the largest single layoff will happen at Cruiser RV facilities in Howe, where 251 workers will be let go. 147 workers will be laid off at Heartland RV facilities in Elkhart and Middlebury. Keep in mind, Heartland is also closing a plant in Sturgis, shedding 121 workers there. And finally, another 51 will come at a DRV facility in Howe. For context, DRV, Heartland, and Cruiser RV are all affiliated with Thor Industries.
Information led me to seek out Kyle Miller while we were attending the Hershey RV Show. Now, Kyle is like the national sales director for Heartland, under which at the time DRV fell. And I reported in that September video how that conversation went. So I asked Kyle, hey, where's the DRV products? Where will they be manufactured? And he said, well, we'll probably manufacture them in the Pinnacle facility. I said, well, that makes sense to me. And he went on to elaborate that Pinnacle was the luxury brand for Jayco historically, which I let him know I was already aware of that, but thanks for sharing. And then I asked, well, what about the two new facilities? Will DRV eventually be built in one of those two new facilities that Thor has approved Jayco to build? And he said, probably. And he added that production was going to start for DRV in October, and they were planning to have some of the 2026 mobile suite units at the Tampa show. And he added, I really need to finish showing this guy around. Can you look me up later and we can finish this conversation? I'd be happy to spend some time with you. I said, sure. Okay. Well, the rest of that day, when I went back to find Kyle, it turned out that he was busy. Okay, I understand that. It's the first day of the show, which is really dedicated to the exhibitors. It's the manufacturers and the dealers all getting everything together so when they open the next day for the general public, they'll have their acts together. So I said, okay, I'll set that aside. Day two, I did not find Kyle. Now, I didn't ask, hey, where's Kyle? I'm really trying to be low-key about the whole thing. Well, today, day three, I found Kyle and said, went up to him, and when he was actually on the phone at the time, he hung up. I walked up and said, hey, Kyle, have you got a minute? He said, yeah, give me just a minute. I'm going to have a quick conversation with my boss. So his boss walks up, they talked a little bit, and I stood back. I didn't want to eavesdrop intentionally or otherwise. They walked a bit away after about 2 minutes, and they continued to talk. And then after about 2 minutes more, they split up. Kyle went one way, his boss went the other. I got brushed off, essentially. At least that's the way I felt. I mean, I had already talked to Kyle. We had a conversation. We exchanged names. I told him how I knew him because he thought maybe we had met previously. And he works in sales. He's been in sales for a long time. Salespeople don't forget things like, give me just a minute. Especially since it's the second time. You know, he told me once, looking back up, and then now, give me just a minute and I'll get back with you. So, really disappointed. I since had another opportunity to visit with Kyle, and that was at the Super Show in Tampa 2026. Spent quite a bit of time chatting with Kyle, and I have to tell you, his demeanor was completely different than what I experienced at the Hershey Show. I even told Kyle that in my follow-up video, after follow-up to the Hershey show, that I expressed my opinion that DRV was done, over and done with. And Kyle was like, oh, well, no, it's really not. Kyle indicated they plan to have a Mobile Suites RV at the Tampa show. And that Mobile Suites would be one that was manufactured out of the Pinnacle facility. And the Tampa show is a good place to debut something that's new and different. So we went to Tampa and went and ran into Kyle. I asked him if they had one there, and his response was, no, they couldn't get it out of the paint shop in time to get it here. Again, my opinion, after 40 years of manufacturing and knowing that Tampa is the show for introduction of things for the new model year, that would have been the place to reintroduce Mobile Suites if it were really going to be finding a new life. And it wasn't there. Couldn't get it out of paint in time? I'm sorry. If it were a real probability of showing up, Jacob would have found ways of getting that Mobile Suites to Tampa. They'd have found a way of getting it through the paint shop. So again, my personal opinion has not changed. I mean, Kyle was nice. I enjoyed my conversation with him. He seemed to be very forthcoming. Still, everything centered around the same old, same old. So having recently received a comment from one of the viewers asking, did I learn anything new about Mobile Suites? Not really. Nothing definite. Again, it gets back to my gut feel, which is based on 40 years of manufacturing. And I have been through product changes, product discontinuance of all sizes and shapes, all dollar values. I've unfortunately seen plants close and was involved in doing some of those myself. Never a fun thing. And based on that, based on information that I didn't receive, based on what I didn't see in Tampa, my opinion hasn't changed. I think DRV Mobile Suites has gone the way of Landmark. The stories that are being told at the management level of Jayco are the same stories that were being told of Landmark back when it disappeared. They haven't made any more Landmarks since they discontinued that, which I think was about 2020. No, 2023 or 24. Anyway, it's been a while. And we're soon to be approaching 1 year on the discontinuation of accepting orders to manufacture new Mobile Suites. So there you got it. It's not good news. I'm sorry. That's the way I see it. Hope this was a beneficial video for you, for those who are still wondering about it. Got any questions, comments, concerns? Leave them in the comment section. Thank you for watching. Look forward to sharing with you soon. Bye-bye.